Welcome to the Rebuilding Future. You know what? Stop. Welcome to the Rebuilding Futures podcast. I am your co-host, Kenneth Young. We have with us in the building today Mr. Elric Truvillion,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Aaron Charles, and Chris Shankle. We also have a special guest, Miss Ahna. You've heard her before on our podcast, but she is actually live in the building. Hello, everyone.
All right, what's going on?
What's going on? What's going on, Ken? What's going on?
Happy to be here.
Oh yeah.
I see everybody on live. I see you on live. We're going to talk about relationships today. It's going to be part 2 of what we left off of our part 1. We welcome anyone to call in. Of course, before he says it, I'm going to go ahead and say it. You can reach us at 214-777-3626 right now. We also have social media and websites, but if you would like to call in, that is the number to call in on. It is 214-777-3626. Okay, who wants to get us started today?
Well, first I want to say congratulations to the Colorado for doing a wonderful job. You know what I'm saying? My boy Dion did what I expected him to do. He did nothing less. Great coach. I want to send a shout out to him and let him know that if he need me, I'm in the gym. Yeah, if you need me, Dion, I'm in the gym. You know,
Was you like a strength and conditioning coach or something?
that's what
I was wondering. Like, in the gym doing what?
Trying to figure out what's going on right now.
I'm in the gym waiting to get the ball, man.
Okay.
Give me the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, give me the ball. Yeah, I want to be like his son should do. When crunch time comes, give me the ball. Yeah, I'm like Jordan. Give me the ball. I'll take the shot.
I see you have a jersey on.
Yeah.
Man, you ready? You ready to get in the game?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I got my wife.
Say.
My wife got my cleats. She got the cleats on the bike. I tell her, babe, put these cleats because these are the same cleats I had in high school. These are the same cleats I had in high school. I'm ready, man. You understand? I'm ready. You know. But now, man, let's get down to business, man. We got a lot of different comments, and we had a lot of response from the conversation we had our last podcast.
Yeah.
So, and I noticed that this week was a very special week for women. They had a calling of a meeting, and no man was allowed. So we got to start arming ourselves and getting ourselves ready for these women, man, because they're looking for some real men. So. Right now, we got to support us and talk up for us. My homeboy gonna come up to the mic, step up to the mic, Christopher Shankle.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you?
Well, I tell you right now, I'll follow up on that if you don't mind.
Go ahead. Come on.
Something that I really notice is that when it comes to, male, female relating, there's a lot of disturbance between the two sexes, right? There is a lot of static in between how somebody feels and them getting that message across in a clear and concise way. Communication in and of itself is a beautiful tool, right? It's like art. You can do anything with it. Somebody can paint a picture in your mind. They can imprint something on you for your entire life by just sharing something that's not tangible. And that's just, the spoken word. It's an amazing thing. However, if we don't have a trained way of conversing, we can also be very damaging. The words that we use hold power, and people say that arbitrarily, but they really do hold more power sometimes than the physical things. If I was to get slapped in my face by somebody, that pain would probably be acute. It would come and it will go. But somebody can share a word with me and speak something over my life that could damage me and penetrate me so deeply that I carry it with me throughout the entirety of my life, shaping the things that I do, changing who I am as a person. And when we communicate male to female, there's usually this real deep emotional factor that's associated with it. And we say things that we don't necessarily understand the gravity of, and even some things that we don't mean. And so I think that one of the major failures between men and women is the way that we communicate, not the way that we hug and touch and are intimate with each other. It's just the things that we say, right? A lot of it's just a real big facade too, because we sit here and we talk about things and we conceptualize, right? We go through all these things in our mind. We're just really exploring ourselves, and we put things into the atmosphere in the presence of another person. And we don't necessarily mean all of this stuff. We don't have convictions that are so strong about it, but we're willing to argue points back and forth, and that static comes, and then comes separation after the static about something that we were really just discussing as a topic, right? We don't have these deep-seated beliefs about all the stuff that we discuss, and sometimes we do, but those two things getting mixed together, I think, makes for miscommunication.
Yeah, but and I also want to add to that. I believe that in order to for a man to be a man, he got to be raised by a man. He had to be taught by a man, so that way he'll understand how to be in a relationship with a woman. Because when we're growing up, men we get out in the streets and play games, and our goal is to win. And once we win, we win. Well, when a woman is growing up, her mama has her in the house. She's learning how to take care of the house, how to clean, how to take care of the kids and stuff like that. All we're taught to do is to win. So once we win a woman over, we don't do nothing else.
So okay, I want to make sure you got the whole thought out.
Gonna jump in on that.
Okay, go ahead, because I'm
You can go ahead first.
all right. So I'm gonna go back. Right. First of all, you have the right to opinion. I give that to you, but I got to go back to the very first thing, that in order for basically a man to be a man, he has to be raised by a man. That's a tough one for me right there, because to know how to treat a woman was never taught to me by a man, right? And I told my son, who, I have the honor of being able to father at this point, that what grew me up and matured me was being able to be in close, intimate relationships with women, because they allowed me the opportunity to explore my masculinity through a relationship with them, right? So I got to, same thing I told my daughter, listen, this is the deal. You're in a relationship with somebody, and you come and tell me things, and all I'm going to do is react as a father, right? So you need to figure out what you want to tell me and what you don't want to tell me. And the things that you don't want to talk to me about, which you can talk to me about anything, you need to put into action the corrective measures within your own home that are going to get you to the places that you want to see yourself. And so what I'm saying is, if this is the guy, then don't come taint who he is in my mind, because that's how I'm going to look at him moving forward. What I need you to do is, you're going to have to put your big girl shoes on and practice your ass off with this dude. So either you get it right with him because you practicing the hard as you possibly can, or you so prepared for the next person that all that practice and all that stuff you went through in this relationship actually meant something in the one that you measure up to. I didn't grow up with a hand on the knee conversation with a grown man saying, this is what it looks like to be a man. I wasn't taught by a man. I was really taught because women gave me the grace to be able to practice my ass off on them. Okay. So it's a little different for me. Like,
well, and that's what I'm. Okay, you should. I understand why y'all disagree, because what's happening is generation that's been lost, and that's what I'm saying. And the generation, the ball has been dropped with us. So when I speak on that, I speak back before us, like your grandfather, your great-grandfather. That's what I speak on when I speak about that. And then they taught you how, if your mama in there, they first taught you to take care of your mama.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Your mama in there sick, go in there and take care of your mama. Your mama picking up a big box. Don't let your mama pick up that big box. Your mama going through that door. Your sister. You know what I'm saying? Or a lady. A lady finna open that door, you open that door for that lady. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
All right.
I'm with you on that.
And that's where I'm at with that. Now, when you get into a relationship, nobody really can teach you or tell you about the relationship. That's two people learning how to live and deal with each other. Now watch this. This is going to hurt. Now watch this. Brothers and sisters is living in the house all their life, right? They grew up together, right? You know what happens? They get grown, they leave the house. Mm-hmm. At that point in time, it's hard for them to leave home and then come back and live in the same house. It's hard to get two people to get in the same dwelling and live up under the same roof, two grown people. So when you get in a relationship with a person, the things that your bad habits has to come to a stop or come to a agreement. Compromising. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And so that's what's so hard about people getting along. Make sense? Y'all Now, y'all want to come in on y'all?
It makes sense.
did
Let me ask you a question though.
Okay, go ahead.
So when you say that it's hard for the two to come, or the kids to come back home, it's hard for the kids to come back home. I'm sorry. Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean? Why would it be hard? Like, let's say me, as a mom, I have multiple children. I'm raising them according to what my core values are, my belief system, and all of them are their own individuals, right?
Right.
So when they leave the nest,
There you go. Yeah. Come on up in there.
Come on,
Be shy now.
Yeah.
when they leave the nest, they are leaving with what I instilled in them, right?
Right.
But they may all take their own individual route.
Right.
Right. So if I am the one with the core values and I'm like, no, this is how you do this. And in a relationship, this is what women should do. Or in a marriage, this is what, or, young men should hold the door and, all those good things that you said. What is it that will make them not want to come back? You said it's hard. If they're all being reared the same way. I don't know if
No. Yeah, you misunderstood what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to live together. It's hard for two grown people to live under the same house because just like right now, you have brothers and sisters, right?
Yes.
For you and your brothers and sisters to live up under the same roof again is going to be difficult and hard because y'all have accumulated bad habits. One brother may not pick up his shoes. That might be a pet peeve of yours.
Okay,
you get what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying.
I think I misunderstood.
And that's okay. That's okay. Sometimes I talk fast. You know what I'm saying? And that's okay. But and sometimes I talk crazy. You know what I'm saying?
I vote number two. I vote number two.
Kids to come back.
And yes,
That's what
okay.
I was talking about. I kind of
and that too. And so let me speak on that. Yes, it is. For my kids to come back in the house with me, they got to live by my rules. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yes.
That's how we do it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, if I go to their house, guess what?
Rules.
I got to live by their rules. You get
Daddy
that's
or not.
Right. But what I'm saying, if your child come back to live with you, he or she have picked up some bad habits.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So now, like women, I know, like with my wife, her pet peeve is she don't go to bed without them dishes being washed.
Oh, yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
You know what I'm saying? So now, not saying that your daughter do that. So she done been gone all these years, and then she come back, and then she done got lazy, and then you have to, you wasn't raised like this. Clean up the kitchen.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes, okay, I get it.
We run into that. Not a lot of parents run into that, but we run into it because your child had probably went off to college and
forming their own identity,
right,
their own ways of thinking, and their own thought process.
Yes,
and that's okay.
Yeah,
because they're their own.
And that's life, and that's what I'm saying. And then like in my line of work, I tell people that it's hard for two people to be in the same dwelling. Like we drive trucks, so when we drive teams, it's hard for two men to be in the same truck because you have some men and some people have hygienes.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Hygiene problems. Some people are just clean, just being, neat.
Yes.
You have some people that just a real, that's a real pet peeve. Like me in my house, my kids had to wear, I hate to see somebody walking on the floor with no shoes on. You know what I'm saying? That was one of my pet peeves. And I had to get, after they got over it, yeah.
We talking about walking around the house.
My fault.
The topic that we supposed to be discussing right now.
Yeah, well, y'all jump in here.
The
About
relationships.
We talking about whether or not somebody got some slides on.
So we still talking about living. So I really want to hear from my boy. My boy ain't had a chance to say nothing, and I really want him to jump on in here and make his claim. Something. Golly, help me.
What you mean?
Help me. Shit. Help me. Yeah. Christopher Shankle. Yeah.
It's not helping. This all started basically because I've talked to several different women and a lot of different women.
Okay, you stopped at several.
Okay.
I said he being so kind right now.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of people say it though. A lot of people say it.
So this is I asked them all, about the requirements that they would look for in men. Okay. Mm-hmm. I have 3 daughters. I'm a single father raising a 17-year-old daughter. Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I have one daughter that's 31 years old. I have another daughter that's 26. They all have different views, but the one thing that I make sure that they have are requirements of the man that they're going to spend time with.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people don't understand that. They put it as expectations, or they say, hey, I would desire this, or this is my requirement. So one of the things that brought up the hoopla was when I mentioned love being the top requirement.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I had a conversation even last night, and the young lady did not state love as a top requirement. So this is what my I guess my input is. Okay. I guess you could say I'm a Christian person. All right.
A lot of people say it.
Yeah, thank you. I got saved in 2003. All right. So with that, I lean on a lot of, I guess you could say, I don't know, spiritual words from God. Okay.
All right.
I'm not necessarily going to say they're his words, but I pray a lot of times before I speak.
All right.
That's what I was doing over here just a second ago.
All right.
Praying and saying, hey, God, give me the words to say blase, blase. Okay. I listen to a lot of different things. I don't listen to a lot of music all the time. When I ride around, I listen to things to enlighten my brain, my mind, my thoughts. I try to view life in a perspective that the average person do not.
Right.
Okay. So I asked the question, why isn't love at the top of the list? And the young lady shared with me her thoughts, and it's all good. But here's my deal. I pray for everything. I think everyone in this room prays for everything. Mm-hmm. So how is it that the creator of all the heavens and the earth, the father of us all, we in detail with him, we want a promotion. Heavenly Father, please give us this. Heavenly Father, bless us with that. Like we don't know, like he doesn't know what we need.
Right.
Or what we desire. The thoughts and the desires that he put in our brain are because he's giving us a vision prior to us receiving. If you can think it, you can obtain it.
Right.
Okay? Why isn't love at the top of that list when we all read about God is love? It's even in the Bible. Mm-hmm. So if you put him first, even in a relationship, love is first. Then everything you require will come secondary. Then you hear women, and I hear a lot of women, okay, say, well, you can't live off love alone. Well, okay, whatever you can't live off, he'll provide.
That's right.
So stop looking at, oh, well, he has to have the money. God's going to bless you with the money if he doesn't. But see, the problem is most women, and that's why I can't just say women or men, because those lines are so blurred at this moment right now. Okay. Because we take, I guess you could say, a female, and she could be the most trifling individual in the world, and we'll put a woman on her. That title woman, that's not a woman. That is who she is. Mm-hmm. We're not even going to use those words at this time, but she is who she is. Mm-hmm. A woman is an incredible person inside and out.
Right.
I went to a funeral yesterday, and they talked about a 88-year-old woman. She has 6 boys and 1 girl. And those boys got up, and so at the end of it, one of her sons said, wait a minute, I need y'all all to understand this. My mama is who she was because my daddy went to work every day so she could become the mother she was to all 7 of us. We forget that. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? But as men, we are raised and we are taught to produce, to take care of, to nourish, to protect. That's the way we're taught. Well, I'm going to say that's the way I was taught. Okay. Mm-hmm. So my daughters know off the top, there's not a question if they call daddy, I'm on the way. Even if they don't call me, I'm on my way. It's just what it is. My daughter, she wound up getting, I guess it was with a West Nile virus, whatever the hell it was at the time. And her friend called me and said, you know, hey, Raven was diagnosed this, and she's in the hospital up here in Baton Rouge. And she had gotten out the hospital. I got out of work, jumped in the car, drove to Baton Rouge. I said, I just need to see you.
Right.
I didn't know it. She didn't tell me. So she didn't call me and say, Daddy, I needed your help. I heard that she needed my help and I was there.
Right.
Okay. So why did I do that? Because I love her. So if that's the top of the list, everything else comes. So when I expressed this to the young lady yesterday, and she looked at it and I just flipped the napkin over and I wrote the word love on there and said, why is that not at the top of your list? And she said, well, I'm older and I just have given up on that. Okay, well, then that's a personal issue that maybe a lot of young ladies or a lot of women or a lot of females may have missed that mark, that they may have given up. And so I understand that, and I know it's going to rub a lot of people in the wrong way and this and that and other. But at the end of the day, when we pray, we ask God for everything, right? In detail. So why do you assume that a human being knows what you want?
Right.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Not yet, Ken. Not yet, Ken. Not yet, Ken.
No, go ahead.
No, great. We need grace. We need grace to come behind this, bro.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Then you can come.
Okay. Well, I might want to say something.
Yeah. Yeah. You got the flow.
See what he got to say.
Oh, you want to hear what he got to say?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might want to elaborate on that.
Yeah.
I was gonna go to Scoots when he said
Okay.
you have to have a man to raise a man, because I was raised by all women. So I say this: anytime somebody say that, I believe it's important. So let me not negate the fact that it's important because I have sons. Yes. But I will say, when you say that, you're negating the God you're negating the God part of it, because instinctively a man is a man. When we say you have to have a man to raise a man, we're saying you have to have a man to teach us what we believe you have to be as a man.
Exactly.
So like when I walk in a basketball court, if you ain't yelling loud and all the rest of that stuff, then they think, oh, you're not being a man. So you somewhere, all 20 million of us African-American men sat down and voted and said, if you're not yelling, you're not a man. And so we didn't vote on certain things that people say you have to be something. But Adam didn't have a man above him. He had a God. He learned to be a man because instinctively, if we believe in a God, then we know God gave you everything you need. And you may not have it in your house, but you will pick it up just like everybody picks up what they need in life, because instinctively, we know what being a man is. My grandmother taught me to open the door. So all the stuff y'all saying that your dad taught you, my Chris can testify. My grandmother taught me to open everything I know about something. My grandmother told me, if you want to sustain a relationship, then this is how I know we want to be treated. So then to get into the people, what Aaron was saying, conversations. What we don't understand is conversations is not agreements.
Right.
We think conversations are always supposed to be agreements, and you can't grow in agreements. You can only grow if you allow yourselves to disagree. And you have to understand that there is no such thing as always having good days. Mm-hmm. That would be hell. Like they said, if God gave you everything you wanted, you'd be in hell. Because then what's the want after that?
And there would be no need for a God.
There'd be no need for, you have to have bad days.
There would be no need for me to have a God that I can pray to and believe in and have faith in if everything that was set before me was the way I wanted it to be.
But you have to have bad days to know that good exists. Everything has to have its opposite.
Yes.
So when you realize that you have to have a bad day. Today, I'm going to sit in this room. You're going to go sit in that room. We may not talk, but we're going to come together at some point. But right now, we're in a phase of disagreement. Right. In disagreement, we're going to have a conversation, but that's not going to always lead to agreement. Sometimes, like you say, we don't disagree. We will never disagree on that.
And that's okay.
Mm-hmm. And then to what Chris and you were saying,
yes.
What I think people do is, like, everybody says what they want. Okay, so right now I could say, Aaron, I want a $400,000 RV. I want it to have this. I want to have this, and I want to have this. Well, the first thing Aaron is going to do is he's going to look at me, look at my situation. He's going to say, Ken, come back when you have this. And what people do in relationships is they just keep going to different lots. And they just keep saying what they want. and they think they're going to get what they want without becoming what it takes to get what you want.
That's good right there.
You can't go in a dealership, you can't go anywhere and get what you want without first becoming what it takes to get that particular thing.
That's good.
You can say, I want somebody that's loving, I want somebody that's rich, I want somebody that's this, I want somebody that's this, I want somebody that's this. And God sit back and say, okay, well then you need to be this. It's going to take you 2 years to get to this.
Right.
From where you at.
Right.
You need to be this. It's going to take you 4 years to get to that.
Right.
So what you need to do is be by yourself until you become this thing. But society doesn't let us be by ourselves. So we just keep going to different lots, different car lots, trying to get something. And whenever you go to a car lot, Chris, whenever you go to a car lot and you don't have the requirement to get your car, what you stuck with?
What is left?
Whatever
like I got these four that you can choose from.
Whatever your situation say
Right.
you can get.
Right.
So it don't matter if you walk in a club and you got on the baddest dress and you got on this. What does your situation say you can have? Your
Right.
situation say you get this broke guy over here. Because this guy that's got all this stuff, he requires you to have this, and this. And you ain't got it. No matter how much you want, no matter how much you pray to God, because God is going to say, to get that, you need to be this. And we don't do that. Everybody just go fishing in different ponds. We don't even realize it. We go to different
same character, different body.
Exactly.
That's just what it is.
But then we go to different ponds looking for a Bentley. You're not gonna find a Bentley at a Tocha No lot.
Right.
But
You don't want it if you do.
Nobody's looking for a Bentley. I'm waiting for a Bentley to walk up. A Bentley is not in a Tocha No lot. So you go from one Tocha No lot to the next Tocha No lot to the next Tocha No lot saying, I'm looking for a Bentley. And Bentleys don't drive there. Bentleys don't go to these clubs. Bentleys don't go to these places. Bentleys are somewhere doing what Bentleys do.
Right.
And it takes a lot of money to get a Bentley. So Bentley on Friday night is sitting somewhere trying to figure out how he can make progress business. He's sitting somewhere trying to figure out how he can do this, how he can do that. You're not going to find him in a club. The only way you're going to find the Bentley is to be where the Bentley is.
Yeah.
Which means you got to be doing what the Bentley is doing, but you're not going to find them at a catfish pond. Catfish pond, you can catch 20, 30 fish at a catfish pond.
But you don't want no
Throw
catfish.
anything in there, you get whatever's get out.
Yeah, but you don't want no catfish.
So everybody get their wishing board, they write their board down, their vision board, and they say, this is what I want, blah, 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 and they forget the work that comes along with it. Whatever you say you want, you got to become it first, and then you get it. So that's my point on that. Grace, you can jump back in.
Okay.
Okay, Grace. Okay.
So to speak on what Mr. Chris said, let me first of all, let me go back to the last episode. Let me clean this up. Because I got such a response.
Yeah.
People were messaging me that, I have listeners from different places, and they were like, well, the guy said you didn't say love. And I said, well, I'm 47. If a man come to me and I don't feel the love and I'm not being shown that up front, I'm not hanging around for nothing less. So I don't feel that I got to be like, hey, you better come with love. Like, no. That is a given, and I'm going to stick to it. So for whoever felt whatever, they just feel whatever. That's just what it is.
Can I jump in with you?
Go ahead on.
Okay, so there was just a little list of requirements, things that had to be checked off, and you say that's a given. So that leaves room for assumption.
Okay,
right?
let me clear it up.
Thank you. Now, okay, all right, come on, let's get this. Let me hear it.
No assumptions. Let me say what it is. I desire love.
Okay.
I deserve love. I give love. I'm full of love.
Yes.
God is love. As you said, you get love, everything. Matthew 6:33. See, I got saved at 16 too. Mm-hmm. It says, seek ye first. Right? God is love. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. Okay. And all of those other things will be added. So if it's love and God is love and that's what you desire, that's what you're going to attract. If that's what you're putting into the atmosphere. I'm not going to coerce or tell a man, you better love me. No. You got to come with that. You got to have love already in your heart as an individual. It's not about me. I love me. So I love me first. So if anything that attaches itself to me or vice versa, it's not cohesive, it's not conducive to love and that energy, I'm not hanging around for nothing less. But those other requirements are what I said they are. I don't want nobody that's sick. I want to be able to enjoy my life. I'm kind of still young. I want to be able to do some things.
Right.
Travel and do all of that stuff. So no, I'm not a caregiver in that aspect. I want them to be financially stable. Because like I said, I know who I am as a person and what I bring. So like he talked about the Bentleys. Yeah, that part. I get it. However, am I going to be willing to be down for the ride and for the journey if things go sour? Because we know that life will throw us some lemons, right? So am I willing to, lift him up, be his support system, pour into him, speak life over him? Yes. I got that too. I can do all of that. When we talk about, because people always say, I think my daughter and I had a conversation on the way here, and it's funny how you all mentioned about the gender roles, and how you mentioned that love was not on the ladies' list. I think sometimes women get so tired, and I could be wrong, they get so tired of, going from this man and to this man to this man. And it's like, they have to check themselves as well. Like, what is it in me that keeps attracting these type of people? What is it in me? Let me be accountable. What is it that I need to work on to be able to add value to this man's life, other than looks, hips, and whatever. Because at the end of the day, when you done doing what you have to do in the bed, you got to have something of some substance to wake up to and get up to. You got to be able to love, like the person and love the person enough to have a conversation and to be like, what is the next plan? Babe, I saw this house over here. What you think about it? You know what I mean? Should we invest in that? I got this money. You want to go get another truck? You want to start a business? Whatever that thing may be, so you have to have those core values. You have to be able to have something of some substance. So when I said on the last episode, and you said I was trying to clean it up.
Yeah, the long broom.
With the long broom.
Yeah, the long broom.
I brought the rake out today.
Yeah.
I said, wait a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, of course I deserve love. Okay. I am love. I want love. I desire love, and I'm going to get that, And if I am partnered up with someone, or I meet someone along the way, and I don't feel as though they are bringing that to the table out the gate, I cut it from the root. I ain't wasting my time. I'm about to be 48. What I look like? I'm not teaching nobody no new. I don't have time for that. So you have to have that. Definitely, you have to have that. But those other attributes and those other things that come with it, because we live in a real world. Bills, they don't stop. No. We live in so why would I attach myself to somebody and then I got to struggle? Like, I don't even do that, but I'm like, what are we doing? So yeah, I wanted to say that to clear that up, because it's not just about all of those other things. Because at the end of the day, if you got to eat peanut butter and jelly, that's what you got to do, because love will carry you through. But I also say sometimes it's not enough. It's not enough when you meet somebody and they're like, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, and it's just the intimacy, the intercourse. No, I want somebody that's going to pray for me, pray with me, encourage me, help, keep me motivated. What is it that drive you as a man? What is it that drive me as a woman? Those are the meat of the relationship. I get it. But it has to be love. So if you don't mind, I'm gonna jump in real quick. Yes, sir.
So I think one of the most interesting things that we have going on is that when Chris presents that question, that topic, there's so many different things that are like almost demands. And I don't say that with a negative connotation, right? They're almost demands. These are my non-negotiables right here. And the fact that love is not on there is just interesting because of how much love we've been conditioned to show a woman, right? So, a man is supposed to have one soft place to land in this world. That's his woman, right? So he shows her love. And she says that she wants all these other things, but leaves love off. When a lot of concern for women is how much love they're being shown by the man that they're in a relationship with, right? There's just a lot of different ways that, women express their desire. And to me, in my past relationships and even present, the number one thing that a lot of women desire is just to be shown how much you love them. But everything else is non-negotiable. You said, hey, man, if we go through a tough time, we can eat peanut butter and jelly. But can you survive on a little bit of love?
You can. That love is going to allow you to stay there to eat the peanut butter and jelly. Because I'm not going to eat no peanut butter and jelly with nobody I don't love.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever come into contact with someone, had a conversation with them, and knew that without you being attached to their physical, that you love them right there in that moment.
In that moment?
In that moment.
Like I meet a person, I'm like, oh my God, I gotta have them. I love them.
I didn't say you have to have them.
Or I love them.
Yeah.
Well, I love everybody.
Okay, hold on. No, let me stop that.
Just because.
What I'm saying though, so have you ever met someone and had a conversation that yielded such a strong spiritual connection that you knew that inside of your spirit there was something that aligned with theirs so perfectly that when those two things are commingled in just that moment, I'm talking about an introduction, it could be a 15-minute conversation, 45-minute conversation, that you know what's inside of you, the intangible thing has a yearning for the thing that's in the other person, and you can call that love. It's not like a gotcha moment. It's just a real question.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Right. So, to me, if I'm going to be in a relationship with somebody, I really don't have a whole bunch of non-negotiables. I'm willing to negotiate everything. I don't care what it is. I'm going to negotiate it all. I don't have a checklist, because if somebody doesn't fit into my mold, then I'm automatically dismissing people that have the opportunity to speak into my life and change it in different ways. I'm less like a crossword puzzle and more like a jigsaw puzzle, right? Because I don't have to meet on a cross here on the end or in the middle. And if it doesn't work that way, then it doesn't work at all. Because in a jigsaw puzzle, I've put puzzles together and put pieces in the wrong place, but they fit really well. And what that piece in the wrong place did was get me to the next step.
Yeah.
So, I'm good with walking up on a person and having a real conversation. I believe that one thing that God has blessed me with is the opportunity to connect with people on a deeper spiritual plane, and then figure out the specifics after we make a connection, right? I don't believe in wasting my time in a bunch of pointless conversation, and I say that with a grand affection for chit-chat. I love the chit-chat, because that chit-chat has value. You know what it's doing? Is laying a little foundation. You're figuring out whether or not you can even talk to somebody. You're listening to their communication skills. You're gauging their depth, and then you're laying a little foundation to get to the next step. So we call it small talk, chit-chat, whatever you want to. All of that for me is a hell of a hello, because when that stuff gets put into place, now we can really get to something if we're already going somewhere. I love. Yes, sir.
Yeah. After you're done, can I jump in real quick?
Yeah, you can jump in.
Come on with it.
Yeah. Hold on. We don't need you to jump, Ken. Just walk, because you just I don't need you. Just got out of surgery. I don't need you jumping.
Come on, Ken.
No, come on, man.
Y'all know I'm a nerd, so I'm gonna give you something nerdish.
Okay.
So for all y'all to ponder, I think that a lot of people, when you start listing out what you want,
Can't hear you in the mic, Ken. Come to the mic.
I think with a lot of people, when
Your
you
mic
start
went down.
listing off what you want,
There we go.
and the reason love doesn't always come into play is because I think a lot of people haven't figured it out yet.
Right.
Like, people don't actually know what love is. And so when you talk about struggling, when Chris was talking and he mentioned God, see, a lot of people mention God, but then when it comes down to reality, see, God is good when it's mythical. When it's we need to pray for something and we want to say God exists. But when we come down to the realities of it, a lot of people don't carry that same God over into the reality. And so when you get into the reality, you start going into the things that, okay, I want this, I want this, I want this. Me and Chris are similar, so I understand exactly what he's meaning when he says that. Because he's saying from a very biblical standpoint, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. Specifically. So I teach my kids, specifically tell the universe, God, whatever it is, exactly what you want. I want a red car with leather interior with this on the seats and everything else so I can get it. But I'll say this about the struggling and all the rest of that. When you talk about falling in love, the scientific definition of it is, because what they say happens is you meet someone that is so in tune with you. That person is so in tune with who you are and your vibration that they open up different chambers in your heart.
Right.
And you start to feel different. So when that person comes around...
Hold up, Ken. Say that again. Say that again.
Scientifically, they say when you meet someone who is so in tune with your exact vibration... Everybody know what vibrations are?
Yes, of course.
Vibration is just how your heart beats. It causes your body to vibrate. And when you meet someone that is so in tune with who you are and that vibration... Everybody's been in relationships before, so I know you done laid next to somebody and after a certain amount of time you realize...
I don't want to be.
Damn, my heart beats. are doing the same exact thing. Exactly. Because our bodies are designed to sync up together. And so when you fall in love with someone, that person opens up a part of your heart. When you fall in love with the right person, and that person opens up the right part of your heart, you're not going to struggle because you got the energy out to go out there and tackle what you need to do. Right. See, when a man falls in love with the right woman, he don't struggle because that right woman gives him the energy to go conquer. He comes home, baby, I had a bad day. She wipes him down. She gives him everything she needs. And in the morning, she said, get your ass back out there and go conquer. And then he goes right back out there. But that energy of their syncness, when they're in sync, that energy, when he gets home, gives him the energy he needs to get back out there and do it the next day. And in reciprocation, he comes home and he provides for her everything. And I say that because I say you can't be raised without a man, but I always go back to my uncle, Chris's dad. I saw him put everything in the house that my aunt needed. She needed a car. It's there. So he built, she made the nest and he brought the stuff into the nest so that she can complete the nest.
Right.
And when you in sync like that, then my aunt could go out and he could come home dirty from sand and everything else, and he could do it over day after day after day.
He loved her enough. And his desire was to make sure she was straight.
Yes.
And so when you don't have bread, when you don't have meat, when you don't have lights, you have that same energy, that same likeness to where you go, we'll have it tomorrow. So it's not we're struggling together. It's we're going through this together at the exact same time. But because I'm with you and you with me, we're going to get past it. But in most relationships, because it doesn't have love, then it's, motherfucker, you didn't do what you were supposed to be doing. Right. You didn't do what you were supposed to be doing, and there's no love there. So that was just a fight.
Yeah.
And no communication, and then it's divorce and everything else. If everybody started with love, so I'm trying to wrap it back into what Chris is saying. If love is it, if you just say, what is my requirement? You got to love me. Everything else will fall in place instead of saying, I want this and I'm going to let the love fall into place. No, what is my requirement? Motherfucker, you got to love me. And if you love me, I got all the rest.
So what happens when people get divorced? Because nobody goes into a relationship like, I'm not going to love him. I mean, so you start out with the love.
No, but people.
But then what happens when the people get divorced? Is it not?
Hold on, I got to answer this.
Get the mic.
Okay.
Get the mic.
Can y'all hear me? Because I don't have a headphone on. Okay.
Oh, yeah, we
got you.
Yeah.
That question has came to me a million times about what happens when you're in a relationship and you get married, and then whatever transpires that calls you guys to go into a divorce, right? That is the most simple answer in the world. God gave us free choice. You married who you wanted to. You didn't marry who God wanted you to marry. That's your fault.
That's right.
Point blank, period.
That's right. So
start taking ownership of what is going on. When you choose a man or a woman for whatever your standards are, they were not God's standard. But because he give us free will, he said, oh, you want her? Now, I know she's a snake in the grass. Okay? I'm going to give her to you. And then as soon as he give her to you, right, you come home and she's sleeping with your best friend in your bed. And you try, oh, my God, I picked the wrong one. God is not, no. And then when God looks at that man and that woman says, God, he's the one. And God says, this man is the biggest adulterer I know. He's a woman beater and he's an alcoholic. But you want him? Yeah. Bless him. Take him. So then we get mad when it don't work out because our choices is not what they're supposed to be. Here's the problem with that. We all plant the seeds that we live in. That's point blank, period.
Yep.
But we get mad after the tree grows and we don't like the leaves.
That's right.
Don't plant the seed.
That's right.
Don't plant the seed. It's real simple. I got homeboys right now. Child support. Bruh. The only ones that's complaining about child support are the ones that impregnated a woman and then decided, I don't want to take care of her.
Right.
But if you didn't ever plant the seed, you wouldn't be worried about how the limbs grow on the tree.
That's right.
It wouldn't even be a tree there.
That's right.
So if we just took ownership, see, this blew complete out of proportion for me. And the reason why I said that is I just said, what are your requirements? If you didn't list it on the list, then don't expect it.
That's it.
That's point blank, period.
So
there's no other excuse to it. I ask women, write down or tell me your requirements. We can go back and visit this 1,000 times.
Right.
But if you didn't put it on the list, it's not your requirement.
Right.
Now that I brought it to your attention, you say, wait a minute, but it's not, if it was on it, I ask you to tell me your requirements. If you didn't state it, how do I know it? You can go back and, listen, I was listening to a podcast actually it wasn't a podcast. I ride around, I listen to things that empower your mind. And a guy mentioned on there, he says, whenever you ask anything, being specific, like what Kenneth was talking about. And he said, because let's say this, if Scoot came to me and say, I want a motorcycle. And I say, okay. So I bring him a CR-80 in 1979 and I give it to him and it don't run. Mm-hmm. Scoot say, that's not the kind of motorcycle I want. And I say, but you said you want a motorcycle. Scoot say, no, I want a Harley. So I go get a Harley frame out of a junkyard and I bring it to him. And he say, well, what is it? Well, this is a Harley, you want it. No, man, I want a Harley CVO. What do you want, Scoot? I want the new 2024 Harley CVO with a custom paint job on it with that 21? Yeah, 21. With the 121 engine on it, bro. I want 0 miles on it and I want to get it from this dealership.
That's what I want.
Okay, exactly now, if that's what you want, then that is what you're going to receive.
Right, yeah.
So if you listing your things down and love is not on your list, you're never going to receive it. You can go back later and say, wait a minute, I want this. And then maybe after you add it onto the list, but here's the deal. That's not what I said. I didn't say to go back and add. I said, give me a list of your requirements.
So in that, whether it be, and love is a strong one, man. I mean, just because it's left off so often, but whatever the thing is that's left off of the list, right? So I want to kind of generalize it just a little bit. Whatever thing you leave off of your list, you're really saying is negotiable. Like you can wait on that thing. As long as all these other boxes are checked, then you'll wait on the thing that you leave off of the list. But it's too often that the thing that you want the most, the one thing that is going to sustain you and keep you grounded in a relationship is the one thing that you're negotiating, right? So one of the saddest things, I turned 43 yesterday, right?
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Aaron.
Happy birthday.
I ain't call you on purpose. I'm telling you right now. I'm just glad to be here right now. So
you didn't, boy.
One of the saddest things that I've seen in these years, right? We talked about, being in marriages, being divorced, went through a delightful little divorce over the course of 2 years. And the saddest thing that I see out there at 40-something is women that are willing to fall in love with the potential of a man. That's a sad sight, man.
Yeah.
There's so many lonely women out here that they will attach themselves to potential and they will just latch up with it and throw everything at potential in the hopes that it will become something better. Well, on the other side of that, the women who are doing this are, at my age, the sum of all of their life experiences plus what everything men has put them through. So you take the mixture of that madness and you attach it to the hope of potential, the hope in potential, and you have a disastrous chemistry working, and then you bring it together and put it in the confinement of a single home where you have living standards that are different, as you mentioned earlier,
right.
And then you have the family element and most likely outside opinion and that one trusted advisor who speaks into your life, the trusted advisor who speaks into his life, who has the each of y'all's best interests in mind, or so they say, which a lot of times when we receive information on our relationship from our trusted advisor, they're really just stating things about what you should do that they wouldn't even do in their own relationship. And here we go. We are now in this self-crafted false narrative, and we're just waiting on an opportunity to fail.
I totally agree. I agree. I said that about the
So in so many words, what you're saying, Aaron, is their picker is broke.
Yeah, the picker
The picker is
need a
broke.
fixer.
Okay.
But the
So
pickers,
so how do we so this is what we're gonna do here. All right. Now that we all have this panel here together,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
We know what the problem is, right?
Well, I want Grace to elaborate on some of this.
She is.
Okay.
I'm finna give Grace the mic because I'm finna step back like I always do. Okay.
Because I mean,
Yeah. So here's what we're gonna do.
okay.
Let's spend the next 15 minutes doing what I do, period. Once I identify a problem and I know what that problem is, from that point on, I never discuss that problem. From that point on, I put 100% of my energy and time into the solution. So if we all have identified that what is going on is that's not at the top of a lot of women list, right? Let's step back as men. Let's listen to women.
Yes.
Allow them to teach us what are we doing to them that is causing them to give up on love, to not even put that on the top of their list, because they're only reacting to our action. So it's something that could actually be broken in men that is reflecting on a woman's response to us. So what I'm saying is, let's take a moment out. Let's look at ourselves. Let's put down the hardness. Let's listen to women, and I mean everywhere, fellas. I mean, the next time you have a conversation to a woman, with a woman, and you want to understand them, try to listen. See what she can share with you that you didn't know. Don't lead the conversation. Understand the conversation. Be a part of the conversation and allow yourself to learn whatever she's willing to share you.
Go ahead,
So
Cupid.
we actually have her daughter here, okay?
Yes, we
Which
do.
there's a generational gap by a long shot here. Okay?
So you want to?
So let's listen.
Okay.
Let's see what her input is on
Okay,
what she feels about all of this.
Hold on, one second, sweetheart. 1 second. I'm finna get it to you. Ken, let our viewers know where we could be reached at, and if they want to call in.
if you want to call in, you can reach us at 214-777-3626. Again, I repeat, 214-777-3626.
Okay, you want to introduce the young lady we just coming to the mic, stepping to the stage? Oh, I'm left here.
I'm gonna let her mom introduce her.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so this is my daughter, my beautiful daughter, Mari. Welcome to the Rebuilding Futures podcast.
First, I want to say God is good.
Yes, ma'am. All the time.
Thank you guys for having me. Thank you, Mom, for this opportunity and inviting me. But I am one of those women. I'm 24. I do everything myself, very independent. Real estate agent. I will be a real estate investor. I'm single, and I love being single because I love myself first. I got it tatted on me, let all that you do be done in love. It's in the Bible. We all should do everything in love. But sometimes we have a different viewpoint on love, rather we're raised, the way we're raised or whatever, and I feel like it starts at home. But I don't feel like love is enough sometimes. I don't think that is one of my requirements, actually, because you should come in any situation with love and know how to treat people. And like my mom said, to piggyback off of her, if I'm not feeling it, it's time to go. God loved the world, and he said that he loved us enough to give his only begotten son.
Yes.
Let's start there. But in the midst of that, humans are faulty. And if we love so much, why are we not showing that loyalty to him, having that routine, rather it's doing everything that, everything in life and having him first in everything. A lot of the times it's not like that. We are doing it our own way, to piggyback off of what you said, Chris, right? We're doing it our own way. We want things our own, to happen our own way and at the right time that we feel is the right time. But sometimes you have to sit back and be still and let God be God.
Right.
A lot of times people go wrong with that, thinking that, oh, if he don't love me, sometimes I might love you today. I love my mama, but she get on my nerves.
Yes.
I love her to death. But you might wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I can't stand you, but I have enough loyalty. I have enough respect for you to not do anything that would go against, I say go against the grain, to not do anything that will harm our relationship. I feel like loyalty is more important than love, because if you don't have loyalty, what happened to Marvin Gaye? Did he ask for his dad to kill him? Let's talk about it. Did he ask? You think he asked for it?
Yes, he did.
He asked for it.
Yes.
Okay,
Let me tell you what happened.
Correct me. I'm sorry.
When Marvin Gaye basically got killed by his father, I can tell you exactly where I was. I was going down Singleton Avenue, pulling up at Church's Chicken with my dad. Mm-hmm. And my dad looked at me, and I was a child. You know what he said? If you had a did that, I would have killed you too. And I said, what? Marvin Gaye got into it with his mother. Mm-hmm. This is really what happened. He got into it with his mother, and Marvin Gaye got off the couch, got into a physical confrontation, and he hit his mother. His father went and retrieved a shotgun and killed him. My daddy, the way my daddy loved my mama, if I had hit I was a child, my father turned to me and said, if you had done that, I would have killed you dead. Mm-hmm. My father passed away of a heart attack in 2018. But my father looked at me one day and he said, everything that I am is because of that woman. And I couldn't understand it because my mama was a housewife. What you mean? All these accomplishments you done, you've worked 35 years. My father said, yeah, I worked 35 years for Gardner Denver. He said, and I had to wake up every morning at 4:30. He said, but you know who was up at 3:30? I said, what? He said, your mama. Mm. So when we get to talking about the love won't do it, do you really think when you really love someone that you're going to allow them to go through hard times? As a man, we'll do anything in our power to please you guys.
A real man.
A real man. Yeah. So my father, he didn't have it all. Mm-hmm. He came from West Dallas. He was poor. He said they wanted 3 things from God before he died. I said, what is that, Dad? He said, number 1, I never want to be poor again. I said, okay. Trust me, he wasn't. Mm. Number 2, he said, I never wanted to be dependent on anyone else. The day he died, he had just taken my mom to Burger King. He had a good time with her. He called me and said he had got dizzy, so he didn't take his medicine. His blood pressure spiked. He had a heart attack.
Sorry.
The last thing that he said was, I never want to bury my children before me. He didn't. God granted that man everything that he truly desired. He never said, I want to be rich. I never want to have this. I never want to have that. No, that was all just given to him. But the way that
he worked for it.
Yeah.
He worked for it. He didn't give it to him. He didn't give it. They didn't give it to him. No.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. And this is the reason why I say given to him, okay? I have a prayer. Every last one of y'all have eaten with me except for you 2 ladies, right? Mm-hmm. What's my prayer? Heavenly Father, thank you for the food we're about to receive. Thank you for the things you allow us to achieve. Because without God's support of anything, we can't achieve it. Mm-hmm. So he gave my father the strength to go to work to achieve the things he did. It's point blank, period. Yeah. So at the end of the day, what I am saying to you is, yes, if you truly experience love, and that's the problem, we don't truly experience love. See, I grew up around it. What is love?
Perception of love.
Everybody's perception of love is different.
Love is different. Exactly.
It's different levels. But hold up. Okay. Someone asked me a question about love being conditional or unconditional. I want someone to love me unconditionally, right? There's no such thing. We as humans put the unconditionally on there or condition. Mm-hmm. Love does not have condition.
A person will kill you because of love.
Going
exactly. back to Marvin Gaye.
Right.
So you couldn't just give me a backlash and I couldn't just get a whooping and live.
Right.
Like you had to kill me.
Right. And let me tell you what. So here was the deal.
Okay.
It's a level of love, right?
What's your to you?
No, I'm telling you. And here's what I mean by his level. This is his level of love.
Okay.
He loved his wife more than he did his son.
And that's where we go wrong.
And that might be a major problem. But what I'm stating to you is this.
Chris, how do we go wrong if we love our wife more than we love our children?
How do we go wrong with that? I don't know how. I don't know what it is, but I know whenever you have a wife,
all that
you're supposed to love your wife as you love the church. Am I correct?
Yes,
Am I correct? Am I correct that God said that you love your wife as Jesus loved the church? Am I correct?
It didn't say kill your son. Also,
it didn't say kill anyone, but that was the
love the world. So
right.
Meaning the world and everything, and they that dwell in it. He loved all of us.
Not even son. Let's move the situation. Let's talk about these men killing women.
Okay, let's talk about men
so
killing
much
women.
They got to kill their women.
Well, see, that's not love.
That's
not love.
Conception. That is not love. That is
exactly.
Love.
That's why for me,
okay,
loyalty comes before anything.
Okay,
I can make money with you off of loyalty. I don't have to like or love you.
That's correct.
But I respect you enough, and I have that loyalty enough to be there and show up. And it would come off to you maybe as a form of love. That's going back to we all love in different ways.
Okay.
Everybody's perception is different. Me, I'm not leaving. I said I wouldn't leave my husband once I get married because I believe in family core values. We lost that in this generation. In my generation, they don't believe in family core values.
No.
Seems like all the men in here were, y'all are men. We are confusing boys with men and girls with women.
Yeah.
Women want to be the new men. And I don't know if the girls is the dudes now.
Right.
Okay.
Y'all, not y'all, but some of these men are sassy.
Right.
Okay.
But y'all want her to cook, clean, do all. It's
y'all.
you, not y'all.
No. We get it.
Y'all telling it's the women telling, oh, you need to do this as a man. Girl, do you know how to knit, cook, clean? Back in the day, they did that.
Exactly.
And daddy might have had a whole family around the corner, but they never knew because family and that home was taken care of.
So we have such like a lazy language, right? Mm-hmm. In other languages, when like we just say love, but in other languages, the exact kind and level of the department of love, it has a totally different word associated with it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, come on. So
I love my mother in a very specific way, right? I've loved women in a totally different way than I've loved my mother. Yeah. So this was the first lesson that I got in this. Before I knew anything about any type of biblical standard, because I didn't grow up in a Christian home. I knew that I had felt love with a woman, right? And then when my daughter came, listen, man, I knew that I was literally in love with a baby. Totally different type of love, though, right? So we say love man, love a woman, people loving each other, but that's such a lazy way to describe what the point that we're all really trying to get across. So if we say, you say, love wasn't the initial requirement, and I say, have you ever loved someone in an intimate connection when you first meet them? It's just a way of saying, have you ever had such a deep connection, right? On what level are you going to appreciate this relationship? We don't have the English designations for that, right? We don't have those things, those definitions without giving a long-winded explanation. And y'all know I'm long-winded already, so I'll give it to you if you need it.
Yeah, we need it. We need
just wrap that stuff up in love because we have a lazy approach to it. And maybe that's the problem in our society right now, is that our approach to loving and relating in that way is so undisciplined and not very well explained.
I don't know, because I think that, like, in here, we all have a different perception of love. Okay. Our backgrounds makes, our environments that we come from, how we were raised, whether it was a 2-parent household, one single mother, whatever, single father, whatever. On top of that, my desire may not be your desire. So you may say, I need somebody to love me like this. I may say, I want to love him how he needs to be loved. Because my perception of love and how I love you or him may be what I think he needs. But baby, tell me what you need from me.
Right.
That you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So everybody's perception is different. Do I desire love? Yes. The way I explain it and how I exemplify it out to the world and outwardly may not look like how you exemplify it and show it outwardly. But it may still be, they may say, dang, they love each other. it just is different the way we,
So
exude that love.
Thomas Weeks the Third. You know who that is?
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Thomas Weeks the Third. You know who that is?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So he wrote a book. The book is called "Teach Me How to Love You."
Give him the mic.
So Thomas Weeks wrote the book "Teach Me How to Love You," right? And we know he was married to who? Juanita Bynum. Yeah,
that's
and that whole situation turned out how?
Divorce.
And
then Christina Weeks and all that big thing. And now somebody,
This man wrote one of the best books about learning how to walk into a marriage, and he used the metaphor of a home being built, right? Mm-hmm. And I need to teach you how to love me. I'm real big on this. People talk to me about relationships all the time. I try to equip people who I have a connection with every necessary tool to treat me the way that I want to be treated so that I can appreciate the relationship.
Right.
If I don't give you the things that you need to be able to treat me the way I want to be treated, if I'm treated in a way that's other than that, that's my fault. It's my fault.
Because you teach them how to
I teach them.
you.
I don't have an expectation for them to already know, Chris. I'm not going to depend on them already knowing something that I haven't given them instruction to, because I don't want the same things from each person that's in my life. The relationship I have with Chris, I don't want it with you, right? No, seriously though.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like me and Eric, we got a totally different relationship than me and Chris.
Yeah.
And then with both of them totally different than me and Kim, right? And then their relationship is way different than amongst themselves than it is with me. They grew up together. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But each one of us has taken the time to dish out tools one at a time.
Yes.
I can't throw my whole shed at somebody.
I can appreciate that.
I got to give them a little bit and see if I can trust them with that. Right? Then a little bit more, see if I can trust them with that. Mm-hmm. If I'm talking about tools, I may want to give somebody one of them little things that you kind of dig up the garden with, whatever little
garden hoe.
I give out a little garden hoe every now and then. But if they handle my garden hoe well, then maybe we can get to a shovel.
A shovel,
right?
or Rick.
Yeah, because what you don't want to do is meet somebody and the first thing you give them is your chainsaw.
Because they're gonna.
Yeah. So we do that a lot. Right, we possess the tools. We have these intangible tools that we give out, and too many times we give out the chainsaw before we give out the garden hoe.
Aaron, I'm gonna jump in.
And I agree with
Aaron,
you.
I'm gonna jump in since you said that, because that reminds me of something my brother used to always. My brother's a pastor, so he used to always preach this. You gotta have your boundaries and you gotta have your rooms. Okay. So when you say we give out one thing, we give out the chainsaw before we're supposed to.
Yeah.
In relationships, friendships, all of them, you have rooms and boundaries.
Yes, sir.
You have friends that knock on your door and they come by unannounced. You talk to them at the front door.
Yes, sir.
That's as far as you ever gonna bring them in.
Exactly.
And then you have your people that can come in, sit down in your living room, that first room. And those are your first room friends. And then you have your den friends where y'all can sit back, kick it, drink a beer and everything else. Then you have your bedroom friends, your people that can come all the way into your bedroom. Right. Mm-hmm. In relationships, everybody is taught, because society and television and songs teach us, in a relationship, the very first thing you do is you take somebody back to your bedroom. Mm-hmm. And that's the reason divorces happen so fast, because you meet somebody and you automatically take them all the way back to that last room before they earn to be in the last room. Mm-hmm. I tell people all the time, my worst purchase I ever had was my Corvette, because I had twin girls. But me and Chris had gone to the Six Flags, and they had that black Corvette sitting at Six Flags. It could have been me and my other homeboy. Maybe it was me and you and me and somebody. But black Corvette was sitting there. I said, I'm going to buy that car. And then when one of my friends had it at a lot, she called me, it's a black Corvette at this lot. And I bought that car. That car looked good. It was fast. It was fancy. You know the problem? No, you know the problem with the Corvette was? I had twin girls.
Yeah, I was like, how they going to get in there?
It's a two-seater.
Mm-hmm. But what did you do first?
I had
No. You saw it.
Yeah.
And then you said what?
I said, I want that. I want that. That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
What came to you?
All the means came to me to go get it.
What came to you?
Your
car. Your friend called you.
Yeah, called me.
Said there's a black.
Exactly what. So back to what Chris said. Exactly what I said.
State what you want.
I got exactly what I said, and it showed up.
You love your twins, though.
No, but the problem was,
love them.
I love my
Daddy
twins.
love them.
Anybody know my twins? I love my twins too.
A lot of people say it.
I can't even say how, like Aaron said, girls teach a man how to love. You raise your sons and you love your daughters. You love your sons, but you love your daughters. But anyway, the car was a stupid purchase. I couldn't put my twins in one seat.
Yeah.
But I was putting them in one seat. I had an Escalade. I gave the Escalade to my son because I want to ride around in the new fancy classic Corvette. It was a dumb purchase. It was a stupid purchase. I took them to school. The school sent me a letter. You cannot bring two people in a car.
Slapped up.
Yeah.
But in relationships, people do that. You get out there and you see something and it looks like the thing that you want. And you don't know what you actually need. So like Chris said, whatever you ask for, God gives you that thing. Ask and you shall receive. You want this thing, I'm going to give you that thing. A long time ago in situations that we're not in anymore, your parents told you who you were going to marry. Because your parents say, I know you, and other parents say, I know you, and they put you together and you didn't need love. You honored your parents and you did what your parents told you to do, whether you were happy or not. And in the end, you worked out being happy, but your parents knew a certain thing. And there was no divorce back in that time. I'm not saying we need to do it, but I'm saying there was no divorce back in that time because they had a certain standard. Now we're able to pick whatever we want. And with the new society, because I can pick something and I can swipe left or swipe right, you pick something, I don't like it no more, bye. I can get rid of you.
I think there's no staying power these days. There isn't. I don't believe that there's staying power in relationships. People always say, "You think you all of that." People tell me all the time, "You think you?" No, I know what I want, and I get most of the time what I want.
Okay,
this is what it is. And I'm not just talking about. I'm talking about everything. Like, because I know that if I put my mind to it, I can have it. I can, whether it's business, whether it's education, whatever it is. Like I tell my kids the same thing. If you can think it, you can have it. Exactly. If you put your mind to it, some people say, "Oh, I'm just waiting on God." What are you doing while you're waiting? We serve a great God, but the Bible says faith without works is dead. So you have to initiate, your blessing by having faith, but also by doing the work, by doing the footwork. So in my manifest, that's why I said when I walked in, I like that. I need that hat.
You can love somebody and still be selfish. Let's talk about it.
Well, let me say this.
You are inherently selfish because it's the only way you can survive. If you don't say I need to eat, then you won't live. So every human being is selfish. Right.
Yes.
So why does love have to just be a requirement?
Well, if you love
I can love somebody.
If I love me, people treat your car the way you treat it.
No, stop. Hold on.
Oh yeah,
sweetheart. Talk to me now.
It doesn't have to be your requirement.
Oh, okay.
That's what we're talking about.
Oh, okay.
We're saying, what are your requirements? Once you share your requirements with us, that's your requirements. Mm-hmm. Love does not have to be anyone's requirement. I asked the question, what are your requirements? Mm-hmm. Now, my question to you, being vulnerable right here in front of everyone.
Don't answer it.
He said, don't answer it.
Cool and calm and all the rest of that.
Yeah. So here's my question to you, right? Teach me what you need right now.
Teach you what I need.
Teach me. I'm asking you because I don't know what you need. I am a man. We have a generational gap. What do you need? Tell me. Share with me. For you to feel.
I don't think I know.
Whatever.
What I need. I'm going to be honest with you.
Okay.
I am 24.
Okay.
I am learning every day.
Okay.
Thank you.
I don't think I know exactly
that was honest.
What I need when it comes to a man. I know what I don't want,
and that's what's up too. You can say you don't.
Okay, what is that?
And that's a start.
I'm a person of family. I believe in family values, so he has to have family core values. I don't have no kids for that very reason. I don't believe in procreating with deadbeats. And I can see a deadbeat from a mile away. You cannot approach me with your pants sagging. I don't even date people my age for that very reason.
Okay.
They don't, I don't want a lot. I don't want you to come in my area.
I don't know what I need, but
I'm still selfish.
Right.
I'm still selfish. I'm still very much so selfish.
Okay.
I like to I can have fun with you, but I know when to hit the road, Jack, and not come back.
Okay, so I'm asking you again.
What do I want? I don't.
Teach me how share with me. I don't know. I'm a blank canvas.
He has to believe in God.
Okay.
Because when he acts up, I got to report him.
And so how would you bring that out of him?
So can we do something real quick? You
No,
know,
no,
when I wrap up, I usually do this, and it's a big help to
Ex-
me. So
exactly.
Why don't you take 1 second? It's not to put you on the spot; it's to really assist you. Take 1 second, close your eyes, and then talk to.
Yeah, because and so here's
Feel it more.
yeah. Close your eyes.
me on the
Just
spot.
close your eyes, and once you close your eyes, I want you to answer this question. Okay? You said you want a guy that he has to have good core values, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So take me to church with you.
You got to be dark chocolate.
Okay. Okay.
All head. Black
Lord,
salt,
him.
pepper beard, Lord God.
She like, yep, that's your daughter. No, I'm
Okay.
What?
Close
do
your
I
eyes, baby.
not
Close your
want?
eyes.
Your coach. So
I don't want you to beat me.
okay. Thank you.
Don't beat me.
Please list that.
Love me, but love yourself enough to know
You don't want to lose your
to
life.
give. Yeah, like love yourself enough to let me go if you got to beat me, baby. I want loyalty. Loyalty to me is just taking care of your business as a man. Yeah, I don't know. It's a lot.
And see, that's what we losing it at.
Yeah,
That's where we losing it. So
No,
this-
I want a provider. I want to provide.
but
No, that's what we want.
But she is
Money.
she
That
is
is where the
she
generation
is the
starts.
future.
That's the
No, I
future.
get it, but I'm just saying.
Let me tell you something. What her generation is going to control the entire
No,
world.
I get that part. But
So
I'm saying,
if we start with her and she can share, I don't know how many followers that you
They're
have,
watching.
whatever the case may be. But if they're sitting up looking at you and I say, okay, well, teach me how to love you. Teach me how to be the person. You saying, well, I don't want a guy that sags. Let me tell you something.
But she said she don't know first,
No.
so that's what I want.
But I love that.
yeah,
She
I
said
can
she didn't know.
admire that.
And that was the
very
most
vulnerable
powerful
to-
statement that you ever could have made, because when you said you don't know, then do your homework, find out.
Okay.
So start looking in the inner you and try to see, what do I really want? And then after I find out what I really want, write it down. And then don't accept anything less.
Less. Yes.
I'm talking about not a spick less, not this much less, because you don't deserve less.
Amen.
And if you can't get exactly what you want, then wait for it. Have the patience.
I think that's where I'm at currently, waiting.
Stay there.
It's gonna
till
come.
you know what you want.
It's gonna come to you.
Now y'all can close up and do what you want.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
real
yeah,
quick?
yeah, good, yeah.
I can appreciate your vulnerability. Thank you for sharing that. And there's nothing wrong with not knowing. I remember when I was younger, people would ask me, "Well, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And what do you want to, And I was always like, "Well, I want to I want to do this, or I want to do that." And then it would change. My career path would change. I want to go to school for criminal justice, and I want to do this. Then I want to go do psychology, but I was still so young enough to be able to switch it. And I think I tell you that. A lot. Like, you're still young, but also get something and stick to it. But I used to say, I don't know what I want to be, but I know what I don't want to be. And I don't want to be like my mother, and I don't want to be like this, and I don't want to do this because I saw that this didn't work. So it's okay sometimes to not know and to be honest with yourself, but also, like Mr. Chris said, to work on it, to find that thing and just stick to it, and don't sway from it, and don't let nobody make you feel bad about it. People have told me all the time, like, certain things about me. I'm like, I shake that off because that ain't even who I am. What you eat don't make me shit. Excuse my language.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
You
saying?
good.
And people will try to put stigmas on you and titles on you. And I'm like, that ain't me. You think what you want to think. If I'm extra, then I'm extra. I ain't for you. I am extra. I'm extraordinary. I am. So thank you for sharing that, even at such a young age. And like he said, you are that generation. You are. So it does start with you. I get it. It starts with you, and hopefully those that are watching you on your page, it'll provoke them to think and be like, you know what, man, I watched that and it made me think about what I need to do, some
Right.
self-reflection or write down some stuff and manifest that thing and, let it happen in God's time. I told a friend the other day, because he was like, why are you, am I dating somebody or whatever, all of my business. But I said, I know. Stop. So anyway,
Your business, baby.
I said, my thing is, I know what I like. I just like what I like. And I feel like I should be able to get it. I don't mind compromising and meeting in the middle because it's not just always about me, So I don't mind meeting in the middle, but I still have to have a certain amount of, I still have to, like, I believe men set the tone, women create the atmosphere, in any environment. And I'm like, if someone approached me and I felt like they had A, B, C, and D, and I'm like, these are my main things. Like, okay, I might be able to work with them on some other stuff. Right. If it's workable, if it's feasible, if it's going to fit my life, if it's conducive to where I'm going. I need somebody that's going to appreciate my journey, like what I'm trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I can't have somebody that's lackadaisical or slothful. I need somebody that's going to be like, hey, let's get it. Because I'm kind of like, what are we doing? Yeah. If we ain't doing it.
kind of like go with the flow with things. Just let the universe do its thing. But I understand the importance of writing things down, making it plain. But I just feel like love it should happen naturally. I'm not going to force things like anything, like you said. I'm not. I'm going to be thinking about what I want, Mr. Chris.
Especially before you're ready. And that was the biggest thing you said is you don't know. When you don't know, you don't know.
Because anybody will come at you.
But people try to force you to know. People try to force you in a relationship. Oh, you should be in a relationship. And then people get in relationships because everybody else is in a relationship.
People tell me that all the time.
And then it don't work.
I'm good. Trust me. I got everything I need.
You get lonely
God supplies all my needs now. Am I lonely sometimes? Sometimes, but I know how to make that. It's okay. But I'm not going to rush because of society. I'm not going to rush because of society, because of the standards of society.
Yeah.
Because the pressure from social media, you 47, you should have a man, and all of that. Like, no, like, it's okay to be single and appreciate your singleness, work on your career. I've been married before. I'm not missing out on nothing. I have a family, so I'm not in a hurry to go and link up with somebody that will disrupt my peace because I've worked hard to get to where I'm at. That's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. But because I had to do the work to get to where I'm at in every aspect of my life, I'm not letting nobody come in and destroy that or sell me a dream and make me feel like, it's love. Oh, and I got these butterflies. It's instantaneous feeling. And it's not even that. What is love? We all got a different perspective of love.
Okay, I want to say something. I want to say something to you. What was real powerful? You said something real powerful that moved this whole room. You said, I don't know. It takes a lot for a person to admit that they don't know because everybody wants to be right and everybody wants to say that they know. And the first step to learning is to admit that you don't know. But I'm gonna give you some tricks. You actually do know. Because you walk around this world with your eyes open and you look at different relationships. You looked at your mama relationships, you look at your auntie relationships, you looked at your uncle relationships. So you know what you don't want. You watched your mama raise you, so you know what you don't want. You know how you want to raise your child. You know what type of family you want to have. You watch your mama go through struggles. So the thing is keep your eyes open. And when that man comes in your life, you're going to know. Because when I was a kid, I had a child at 14. Okay. So I knew I had to become a man at some point in time. Okay. So I knew what I had to do. So I paid attention and I watched a lot of different relationships. I watched my mom and dad relationships and I swore to myself, and me and my brother made a pact. When we get married, we're not getting divorced.
That's how I feel.
You see, you got to understand when you choose a person or when you and this person choose each other, like we was speaking earlier, there's going to be some bad days. Me and my wife, we fuss and fight. But we have had more fun than we fussed and fight. Now, I'm going to tell you what helped us. because her auntie just celebrated 50 years of marriage.
That's awesome.
Okay. What helped us is her family accepted me for who I was. You get what I'm saying? So when I'm injected into that family, I didn't just marry her. I married the whole fucking family.
Right.
So if I divorce her, guess what?
Everybody loses.
I got to divorce the whole family. And that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know where I learned that from? My daddy. When my daddy and mama got divorced, you know what he did? He didn't divorce my grandmother. He didn't divorce my aunties. He still hung around. He still was there. So once I go back again, sometimes it takes a man to raise a woman. Chris, your daddy raised you. He raised Ken. Ken came to your house and seen what your daddy was doing. You watched the way your daddy took care of your mama. You ain't gonna do nothing less. The woman that comes in your life, she's gonna do nothing less. So it starts at home. When we dropped the ball because after our parents, the drugs hit the communities, homes started breaking up when the factories broke down. And they started building these factories. Now the men couldn't be self-owned businessmen. So we had to get it a different way. So it's been dropped. And we have to get in tune with you because you, like you said, you don't know. And we lost it. We lost it. So we need to find out, like Chris said, a young man, you have to teach a young man how to love you, and then he got to teach you how to love him. And that's what I was saying about it's hard to get two people in a dwelling to live together because the way you was raised and the way he was raised. I said on a podcast one day, my grandmother in our household, pep milk. Remember we used to open the pep milk? Back then that pep milk, what they put in coffee, it's pep milk. Okay, my grandmother always told us when you open that pep milk, you use all of it.
Because it's going to sour.
Yeah. Or you get ptomaine poison.
Or that too from the can.
Guess what? Not true.
It's not true?
Not true.
From the can?
Watch this.
Because I've been told that.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
See that conditioning.
So me and my wife, we at the house. We at the house one day. She popped that peppermint over and did. So what you doing?
I have to throw it away.
Yeah.
I don't use it.
I said, we throw that away.
I'm telling you.
My wife, oh no, we don't. Oh, we got in the heated argument over this. We got in the heat. I said, well, I ain't drinking that. Now I'm thinking she trying to poison me, trying to give me ptomaine poison. My grandma said, throw that away.
Throw it away. Yep.
You get what I'm saying? So that's the separation. That's the difference. So when I seen that it's okay, then I start understanding life and start understanding her. So now I got to get to know her. Mm-hmm. So in order for me to get to know her, I got to know her mama. I got to know her daddy. Because I tell her a lot of times, you're like your daddy. You act like your mama. Mm-hmm. So when you meet a man, you want to meet his family. You want to meet his family. Because if he can't get along with his family, how the hell he going to get along with you?
That's true.
I'm going to jump in there and I'm going to let you close it out. Okay. Just, there's one thing I figured out, just for me. Okay. Like, and this is from trial and error. So it's bad shit happening. If you ever want to tell somebody how to love you, I always say, they just going to watch how you treat you.
Yeah.
So if you don't learn to love you, if you shit on you, the world gonna shit on you.
Yeah.
I say, we treat everybody's car how they treat their car. You look at Chris's car, certain cars that we knew you couldn't drink in. You don't bring your stuff in that car. Some of his Camaros, you can get in that Camaro with chicken. We go to Williams Chicken. You eat, you do whatever to. But there are certain cars that Chris had that you got in, and you got in, you sat down, you didn't drink, you didn't do nothing because he didn't want you to spill nothing in. People treat you how you treat you.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
when you're trying to teach somebody how to love you, they're going to watch how you love you.
Yeah.
Oh, he don't do that to himself.
It's really good.
He don't treat himself like that. So they not going to treat you because they know at the very second they do, you're going to walk away from them. If you try to get in Chris's car with some red and he got that bright color carpet in there, no, bro, you spill that red carpet, we can't get that Kool-Aid out that jungle juice out the carpet. So you knew you couldn't do it. And if you want to ride with him, you don't get in the car with jungle juice.
And you abide by the rules.
You abide by the rules, and people treat us like that.
Yeah.
Oh, you shitting on you. I get to shit on you too.
And they're going to do it worse.
So in my life, you're the person that I get to shit on. But he treats himself good. Chris treats himself a certain way. So everybody go, I know we can't do that with Chris.
I'm telling
Because he's not going to ride with me on that.
Yeah.
Me treating him like that. Oh, I know I can't do that with Aaron because Aaron don't treat himself like that.
Mm-hmm.
Once we figure out exactly how to love us and they see it, and they see us doing it in an everyday thing. I can take me to the movies. I don't need nobody to go to the movies with me. The movie theater is right across the street. I can go to the movies right now. I want to go see Equalizer 3. I'm trying to figure out what day I can just run across the street, go with me,
and
get
be
me
just
some
as
popcorn,
happy.
And sit down and be just as
I'll
happy.
be just as happy when I be by myself.
But when people understand you can be happy with just you,
Yes, sir.
then they watch how they treat you because it's no longer important for you to have them in their life.
No.
For you to have them in their life. So they go, wait a minute. I better do with him what he does to himself.
Yeah.
So Aaron, I'm gonna let you close it out. I think this was a very productive conversation.
It should be an addition too. Nobody should just come and just make you complete. It should be that love should be an addition to how you already feel and carry yourself.
Yes.
Go ahead. Somebody's phone.
That's mine.
Yes.
So first of all, we just want to thank everyone who gives the opportunity to lend an ear and has an open heart to the messages that we put out into the atmosphere. It's everybody's desire in this room, those that come week after week and those that have come to visit with us, to share a few things. Number one, personal thoughts and reflections, some deep-rooted convictions, and then also, commingle with all of this, the love of God, and spread that out to you and hope that you can feel, if nothing else, at least the presence and the power of God through the things that we speak, because it comes from a pure place. So today, as we yielded ourselves and we got away from just the facade or the persona that sometimes people put out into the atmosphere, and we were vulnerable and shared things about how we see love and how we think love sees us, there are some different pathways that are going to be navigated. And in your life, just the same, there are pathways of love that will be navigated, some that are going to take you to a place that's going to lead you to richness and abundance of the things that you need the most to build your life on a stable platform. And some places, some pathways are not going to be as sweet. Week after week, moment after moment, month after month, second after second, word after word, conversation after conversation, you find yourself in places where you start to ask questions. Everyone is questioning why to themselves about the places they find them in. We're asking today that you look a little bit beyond yourself and you start to look at other people. You reach for understanding. You look for God in everyone. And by looking for God in everyone and the goodness in everyone, maybe it'll give you an opportunity to elevate who you are as a person. I don't think there's a person in this room that has missed the opportunity to share something with you to impact your life today. As you go back for a re-listen, don't forget to share this with the people that you're surrounded by. Maybe it'll give them a deeper understanding of who you are or what you were trying to say in a previous conversation with them, and it'll help out the way that y'all relate with each other. Every week we'll be back. As soon as God blesses you, let us know, give us a call in, and we'll love to hear from you.
And Ken, tell them where we can be reached at before we... And how they can call in, Ken, before we close this thing out one more time, baby.
As always, you can call in at 214.
We can't hear you guys speaking to the mic.
As always, you can call in at 214-777-3626. We can also be reached at www.rebuildingfuturespodcast.com and anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast.
And we thank y'all, and we thank our guests for coming and showing and bringing a great light and positive vibe to this show. So we hope to see you guys back another time, and you guys let us know when y'all want to come back, and we're glad to have you guys.
Sure.
All right. Until then, we're going to go check these Cowboys out.